Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jay Lover with GringoTourism.com, and I wanted to give you guys a quick blog update. And on this blog update, what we're going to discuss, I'm going to give you guys my top 5 favorite sex mongering destinations I think you guys should check out for the year 2017. So, let's not waste time. Let's just get into it. So, coming at number 5, can you guys guess what's number 5? Number 5 is the Dominican Republic. Now, when I talk about the Dominican Republic, what I'm mainly talking about is Sosúa. Sosúa is a very beautiful town, and the town is located in Puerto Plata. Puerto Plata is like the province or the state within the Dominican Republic. So when you guys check it out on the map, you're going to look for Dominican Republic, then you're going to look for Puerto Plata, then you'll see a small town called Sosúa. Sosúa is a small town, of course, but it's perfect for whoremongering. There's a lot of action out there. What I love about Sosúa is that, to me, it has one of the best beaches in the Caribbean. And of course, the ladies. There's a lot of women. They're all looking for your attention, and they're all looking to give you endless pleasure. Now, as of 2017, it's sad to say that Sosúa has kind of dropped off my list. The last time I did a list like this, Sosúa was maybe like number 2 or 3. But as of 2017, it's like number 5. And the reason why the Dominican Republic is number 5 is because, and before I get into the reasons, I kind of highly recommend you either been to the Dominican Republic before, or just watch my documentary on YouTube on the Dominican Republic to understand the terms I'm about to discuss. Now, as of 2017, at the time of this recording, there's a huge crackdown going on in Sosúa. And what I mean by crackdown is you have the mayor's office, you have a lot of local politicians. They kind of want Sosúa to be more discreet. They don't want a lot of working girls in slutty outfits to be walking up and down the street during the daytime. If they're wearing slutty outfits, there's a possibility that they can go to jail. So when you go to Sosúa during the daytime, it's going to be pretty much slim pickings. Most of the action is going to be during the night. So during the night, you can go to places like Classicos, or you can go to this club called the Casino, places like that. That's where you're gonna have majority of the girls. Most of the girls are gonna come out during the nighttime. During the daytime, it's gonna be kind of slim pickings. Also, why Sosúa has kind of dropped off my list to number 5 is because of the quality. The last time I was there 6 months ago. The quality has dropped a lot. It's pretty much slim pickings. Back in the days when I used to go in 2009, you go to a club like Classicos, it was jam-packed with girls. They had maybe like 200 girls, and out of 200 girls, 50 of them were like, 9s and 10s. Now, as of 2017, you go to Classicos, you probably mainly find maybe 5s and 6s. So, maybe you might find, it's mainly 5s and 6s, and you'll find maybe 1 or 2 9s and 10s, but it's the quality has dropped a lot, and it's definitely not how it used to be back in the days from when I used to go. Also, the expense, it's gotten more expensive. The girls are charging a lot more. Back when I went in 2009, girls were charging maybe $1,500 to $2,000 for the night. Now girls are charging $3,000 to $4,000 for the hour, and or $5,000 to $6,000 for the night. So the prices have gone up dramatically. So right now we're going to talk about the pros and cons to the Dominican Republic, some of its pros and cons. One of the pros I like, and this is coming from somebody that lives in America, primarily on the East Coast. What I love about the Dominican Republic is that it's very close. Plane ride from the East Coast to the Dominican Republic is about 3 to 4 hours. So that's what I love about the Dominican Republic. Another pro I love is, of course, the beautiful beach and the beautiful women. Has very beautiful beaches in the Dominican Republic, Sosúa. Another pro I like is that you get a lot of love. You feel like a superstar. When you go to the Dominican Republic or Sosua, you kind of know what it's like to be a actor or a musician. You get the love. You really feel like a superstar, and it's addictive. What I do not like about the Dominican Republic, some of its cons, is that right now it's gotten more business-like. The girls are just more about their money now. It's just business. Before it was more girlfriend experience. They kind of want to more stay the whole day with you. Now it's just, I'm just trying to make enough money so I can go back and make more money. Another thing I don't like right now is that, well, it's always been there. It's the hustling and the begging. That kind of gets annoying. Everybody's trying to hustle you and everybody's trying to beg you for money. So, anytime you're in Sosua, Dominican Republic, anybody tries to ask for money, just tell them no. Don't be scared to tell them no. Another thing I like about the Dominican Republic, well, pretty much any third world country, is the weak infrastructure. If I were you guys, I wouldn't rent a car, and if you do, just be careful because the infrastructure is terrible. So we're going to continue, and we're going to jump into number 4. The number 4 country on my list is, coming at you at number 4, is the Philippines. Now, the Philippines has kind of dropped off my list also as of 2017. There's some minor changes that are happening in the Philippines. The last time I was in the Philippines was around March 2016, and since the last time I've been there, what has been happening, there's a lot of Koreans, especially from South Korea. And if you're Korean, I don't mean to offend you, but there's a lot of Koreans coming in from South Korea, and what they're doing to the Philippines, primarily Angeles City, is that a lot of Koreans are spending big money at the bar, and most don't even care about having sex. They just go to the bar, they spend a lot of money on drinks, they throw money, and with this kind of attitude, it has kind of spoiled the girls, especially the really good looking ones. So if you look at the bar fine, and for you guys that don't know what bar fining is, again, just check out my documentary on the Philippines on YouTube. If you look at the bar fines are going to cost a little bit more than before. You're going to probably find, if you go to the big bars, they usually start at 25 to 3,000 or maybe even more. Also, why the Philippines has kind of dropped on my list is the Philippines, the girls, the quality has also kind of went down a bit. There's a lot of pretty girls, but you just have to make sure you go very, very early because they get snatched up quick. And when I first went to the Philippines around 2012, there's a lot more pretty girls. Now, in 2000, well, I went there in 2016. It's the quality has kind of went down, so it's kind of really hard to find a really, really hot girl. But again, it's still worth visiting, especially if you've never been there. I'm just talking as a veteran that's been there. I've been there about 4 or 5 times. Also, when you're in the Philippines, don't forget to check out the ABC Hotel. I love the ABC. That's probably one of the best hotels I've ever been in my life. Definitely check that out. So right now we're just going to get into pros and cons of the Philippines, primarily Angeles City. One of the pros I love about the Philippines is that pretty much everybody speaks English. The girls speak English, so you can be more social with them. You can, it's just not just about sex. You can, talk about life. You could have more of a bond. Another thing I love about the Philippines is that you'll find a lot of non-pro, and you'll get girlfriend experience. Like you can bar find a girl, and she'll stay the whole day. You can bang her out the whole day. You get a lot of girlfriend experience in the Philippines. Another thing I like is that it's very cheap. Food, certain hotels you stay at, you can find cheap food, cheap hotel. You don't have to spend a lot. The dollar and the euro goes a long way in the Philippines. Um, what I don't like about the Philippines right now is that it's kind of getting more expensive. Bar fines are more money, and another thing is that when you bar fining in the Philippines, girls can refuse your bar fine. If they don't like you or they might not feel comfortable with you, they can reject your bar fine. These girls just don't go with anybody sometimes. So don't get pissed off or mad if a girl doesn't want to bar fine you. There's thousands of girls in Angeles City walking street. So don't get mad if one girl doesn't want to bar fine you. Another thing I don't like too much about Angeles City is that it's pretty much nothing to do. If you stay in Angeles City, it's just pretty much the bars. You eat, you fuck. That's pretty much it. There's no real attraction. Another thing I don't really like, and pretty much with most third world countries, is the weak infrastructure. I wouldn't drive in Angeles City. It's a lot of broken roads. It's terrible sometimes. All right, so we're gonna jump into number 3. Can you guys guess what's number 3? Number 3 on my list is Germany, Frankfurt, Germany, as I should say. Now, the thing about Germany is Germany's amazing for mongering. Germany has pretty much over 100 brothels. Brothels are like sex clubs. Each brothel has anywhere from like 50 to 100. Mainly the big ones. Some of the big brothels are Oasis and Sharks. Most of the big ones has anywhere from 50 to 100, and smaller ones maybe less. But girls from all over Europe come to Germany to work because it's legal. You'll find girls from all over Europe, from Czech Republic, from Russia, even girls from Thailand, even from the Dominican Republic and Brazil. You'll find a lot of beautiful women in these brothels. So how the German FFK club works is that you usually pay around 50 to 60 euros to enter, and that covers, they give you a robe, slippers, and they usually have a food buffet, all you can eat. They have anywhere from pizza to Italian food. It's a good buffet. They have a lot of food on the menu for your taste, and they also have alcohol. Alcohol you pretty much have to pay separate, but it's about 50 euros to enter. The girls are about 50 euros. If you want to bang them, you take them to the room. It's about 50 euros. They charge you more if you want to do like anal or extra. They usually charge. They'll set a price, their own price. The thing about Germany is that I only really been there one time. To me, I think you have to go to a place maybe 3 to 4 times to get a good feel. But you guys definitely have to check out Germany. Alright, so we're going to get into the pros and cons of Frankfurt, Germany. One of the pros that I love about Germany when you visit these FKKs is that when you visit these FKKs, especially the big ones like Oasis and Sharks, it's very modern, it's very upscale, it's very big. It kind of has this like Roman theme to it. It's done with great taste. The Germans know what they're doing. It's very beautiful. So that's one of the things I love about visiting these FKK clubs. The second pro I would state that I love is, if you're looking for European style women, like women from Russia, Romania, Ukraine, Czech Republic. When you visit these FKK clubs, you can get them for cheap, especially if you're looking for model material. If you were to try to get these girls, say, you're in the United States and, you're looking, the classifieds, or you call it escort agency, these same girls will cost you an arm and a leg, They probably want like maybe $300 to $500. So where, if you go to Frankfurt, Germany, the FKK clubs, you can get them for 50 euros. And as of 2017, the dollar and the euro is almost 1 to 1. So it's very cheap. Um, Another thing I like about the FKKs, it kind of ties into the first pro, is that it's very professional. You meet a lot of good people in the FKKs. It's a very professional setting, very classy. I love it. Another thing well, we're gonna get into the cons. What I don't like about Frankfurt is that you're gonna mainly most of the girls you have sex with, you're gonna get mainly mechanical sex. There's no girlfriend experience. And what I mean about mechanical sex is, it's all business. If you ever hired an escort in the United States, most of the girls you get on like Backpage or escort agency, it's pretty much business. It's bang, and they're trying to get to the next customer. So that's what you're mainly gonna get in Germany. Most of the girls, maybe some girls you might get the girlfriend experience. It depends. Another thing you gotta watch out, I don't like, is upselling. When you go to the FKK clubs, and before you take a girl to the room, make sure you negotiate everything. Don't, because a lot of girls will try to upsell you. They will try to, say, okay, blowjobs is extra 50 euros, blah, 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 blah. So make sure you negotiate everything before you go upstairs and take them to the room. Another thing I don't like is, it's not really a bad thing. It's not a con, I would say. If you see a girl that you like and you want to take her back to your hotel, you want to take them out of the FKK, it's expensive. Most girls, if they're willing to go to your hotel, they're gonna charge you an arm and a leg. Most are gonna want probably 500 to 1,000 euros. So, if you're gonna bang these girls, you have to bang them in the club. If you try to take them out, it's gonna be expensive. All right, guys, we're gonna jump into number 2. Can you guys guess what's number 2 on my list? Number 2 on my list is Medellin, Colombia. Now, I used to go to the Dominican Republic. I used to go to the DR like 5 times a year. The DR used to be kind of like my main mongering spot, you could say. But, since I kind of discovered Colombia, Medellin in particular, I never looked back. Colombia, especially Medellin, is a very beautiful country. Now, I know a lot of you guys probably watch TV, or you probably watch shows like Narcos. And when you think about Colombia, or when they show Colombia on TV, you would think that Colombia is a very dangerous city. Now, I would like to tell you guys that it's not 1992 anymore. As of 2017, the government has did a huge cleanup. It's a very beautiful city. It's very safe. It's very clean. When I landed in Colombia, I didn't feel any danger. There were a lot of police. It's very modern. It was actually shocking, because when you watch TV, you think, you're gonna get killed or robbed or this and that, but it's nothing like that. But as to the women, I would say that if you're into Spanish girls, Spanish women, Colombia has some of the most beautiful Spanish girls I've ever seen on the planet. When you go to the mall, you go to the restaurant, you walk by schools, all you see is dimes. All you see is nothing but 9s and 10s. Very beautiful women. What I also like about Colombia is that it's very, very cheap. The US dollar goes very long. You get more bang for your buck. You get a lot of bang for your buck. The food is extremely cheap. The women are extremely cheap. You can go to these places called Colombia Casas where you could bang, and a casa is it's like a brothel. With like maybe most of the casas maybe have like 20 to 30 girls tops, but you can bang girls there for like $15 top. $15 $15 pussy. All right, guys. So right now we're just gonna get into the pros and cons of Colombia. Some of the pros I already talked before, but I just go through them real quick. Like I said before, one thing I love about Colombia is that everything's extremely cheap. It's one of the cheapest mongering spots I've ever been to. The food, hotel, women are very cheap. Again, like I said before, some of the most beautiful Spanish women I've ever seen in my life are in Colombia. You know, when you go to Colombia, all you see is nines and tens. Very beautiful women. Another thing, like I said before, very modern, very clean. Medellin, Colombia kind of reminds me of Manhattan. You know, when I landed and I drove to my hotel, I was pretty shocked of how modern and clean Medellin, Colombia is. Now, what I don't like about Medellin, Colombia, and I won't say it's something bad, but you know, there is when you go to Medellin, Colombia, there's no beaches. You know, if you want to go to a beach, you probably more than likely have to go to Cartagena. Uh, Cartagena is more tourist-like. That's where you you'll find a lot more beaches. But if you go to Medellin, there's no beaches. It's more city-like. It's kind of like Manhattan, like I said before. Um, Another thing I don't like is that nobody speaks English. And like I said, I know I'm in a Spanish country. You know, people speak Spanish, but you know, when you go to other countries, uh, usually people usually speak English. But you know, when you go to Colombia, nobody speaks English. Everybody pretty much speaks Spanish. It's hard to find an English-speaking person. Another thing I don't like is that you know, it might not be a problem for a lot of people, but for some people, coming back from Colombia into the United States can be a nightmare. You know, you're gonna get searched heavy. All right, guys, we finally made it. We finally made it to number one. Can you guys guess what's number one? The number one country on my mongering list for 2017 goes to, and the winner is Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Now, let me tell you guys something about Brazil. Brazil is actually the first country I ever started mongering. I think I went in 2009. That's the first time I ever went. And from 2009 to 2017, it never missed a beat. It's still amazing. I always have fun each time I go. It's amazing. It's a beautiful country, beautiful women. I told you guys before that Colombia has some really beautiful women, but the thing that separates Colombia from Brazil is that Brazilian women has the total package. You know, Colombian women are beautiful, they're cute, but Brazilian women not only look good, but their bodies are off the chain. Nothing but rock hard thighs and six packs, and they're gym rats. You know, they're all about their body. They take care of their body. Beautiful. You know, it's amazing when you see them and you touch them. Their bodies are absolutely amazing, and they're full of energy in the bedroom. You know, some of the best sex I have ever had in my life, majority of them was with Brazilian women. They're just total freaks in the bed, and they'll drain your balls. Now, with Brazilian women, what separates them is that even if they're spending a day or hour with you, when you spend time with them, they're going to make sure you have a good time. I think what kind of separates Brazilian women from other working girls around the world is that they are more about customer service. And what I mean by that is that when you're with a Brazilian woman, you know, they want to make sure you have a good time, because if you have a good time, you're gonna call them back. You know, they want repeat business, so they're gonna make sure you enjoy yourself, you have a good time. You know, whereas in other countries with other working girls, it's kind of more about business, and I'm just trying to make money so I can see another client, make as much money as possible. But not with Brazilian women. Majority of them, they're more passionate about what they're doing. So it's just amazing. You guys definitely have to check out Brazil. All right now we're gonna get into the pros and cons of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. One of the things I love about Brazil, of course, is that they have some of the most beautiful women on planet Earth. I'll tell you guys before that Colombia, Colombia has some beautiful women, but the thing about Brazil, they win hands down because Brazil has the face and the bodies. The Brazilian bodies are no joke. They have some of the best bodies I've ever seen and touched and felt. It's amazing. Very beautiful women. Another thing I love about Brazil, Brazilian women are big freaks. They're sex machines, man. They just, when they get into that business, they love what they do. They're very passionate about what they do. I never had a really bad experience with a Brazilian woman. They just love sex and they just can't get enough of it. Another thing I love about Brazil, of course, it's probably one of my all-time favorite mongering spots. I've been a lot of places and nothing could really compare to Brazil. I mean, every time I go, I just love it. I never had a bad moment where I was like, I'm kind of getting tired of this place. I love Brazil. It's one of my favorites. What I don't like is that Brazil is very expensive. Food is overpriced. Hotel. The women could kind of be expensive. It's very expensive for a third world country. You don't really get too much bang for your buck. As of 2017, in the future maybe it could get cheaper, but as of 2017, it's very expensive. Another thing I don't like is that, of course, when you go to Brazil, they speak Portuguese, and a lot of you guys might think Brazilians speak Spanish. They don't speak Spanish; they speak Portuguese. And when you go to Brazil, nobody speaks English. It's very hard to find an English-speaking person in Brazil. Most people speak Portuguese, so it's going to be a little bit hard to navigate if you don't know where you're going or what to do. Another thing I don't like about Brazil is that it's not too much mongering areas. I would say most of the action is in the termaces, and the termaces is like brothels. Some of the most famous termaces is like 4x4, Quattro Quattro, or Monte Carlo. There's Viva Mimosa, and you could also try the internet to find girls, or the beach if you're good with your Portuguese, you could check the beach. But it's not too many areas for mongering.